Welcome to Tuesday's edition of I Hate It Here. My name is Erika.
I'm Marissa.
Thank you for hopping on the Hot Mess Express.
All aboard. Welcome to the Hot Mess Express. Choo choo.
All right, guys. It's so good to be back. It feels like we had a big hiatus. Then we came on for Helen to do that one episode with Helen. And then we took another hiatus because our professional lives have been getting in the way.
I know. How dare the job that pays my bills interfere?
Right? We were back in the AMP days, and it would have, we were getting paid at AMP, so it would have been like
priorities, corporate America. Priorities.
Yes, exactly. So we've been away, guys, just because again, our professional lives. Last week, it just so happened that Marissa and I coincided on work trips. I got to go to Salt Lake.
Yes.
And I met Helen. Well, I've already met Helen in real life, but I got to see her. We went to go have dinner. And then guys, these conferences or these out of town meetings, can I just tell you, are fucking horrible. You don't have time to breathe. So got there on Monday. Got directly as soon as I got my luggage, headed to the hotel. I had meeting after meeting. While I was there in my hotel room, then I had enough time to clean up, meet Helen for dinner. The next day, I had to be in the conference room that we were meeting at by 8 a.m. And of course, they give you breakfast, but it's kind of like breakfast is only the real time that you're not really working through. Right? You're kind of just setting up your stuff and blah, 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 right? So after that, you're in meetings or in this continuous training and meetings until 5 p.m. We're eating through lunch.
Yeah. You're working and eating. Your whole day is booked up and you're working the entire day. Because even during the dinners, you're still having to do the conversations and have the personality on and
that's
so
what I was
on.
Gonna say, then you have barely enough time to go clean yourself up from the day. I had 30 minutes to just hang out in my hotel room. Freshen up, and then we had dinner. Dinner was across town, so it took a while to get there. We got there by the time we all get served because it was a big party. Didn't get back to the hotel room until super late. Then you're just so exhausted, you go to sleep, wake up, and do it all over again the next day. So these work trips are not fun. As much as I would love to be able to go explore Utah, I did not have the opportunity. But Marissa, on the other hand, had a fabulous time in Atlanta.
Fuck yeah, I did.
I'm not mad. Yes, I am. I'm super jealous. Marissa, tell everybody about your fabulous work trip while I was stuck in a conference room for 2 days.
Okay, to be fair, mine was pretty awesome. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna rub it in real quick, but they in this conference they really did it right? They typically jam pack you the whole day. They have you in these conferences, classroom style. You're listening to presenters. You're trying to answer emails in between, doing all of these things. That's what I'm used to. This conference that I went to only did half days. So they only did half days of actual conference, and then you had different things that you could go out and do and experiences, right? So the first day we got there and we didn't see anybody until dinner. And dinner was at dinner drinks, which was from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., right? So that's what we did on Monday afternoon. And then Tuesday you did breakfast and then until midday. And then I got to do the Porsche experience, but they went all out and they actually paid for us to be able to drive the actual cars. So not just the simulator, but actually drive the cars because they have a private little track where you're able to do it. So I was very excited. They had different experiences for different people. They had the Porsche experience and then they had golf, which I'm like, fuck that. Atlanta heat, me outside. And I can't get drunk. No, thank you. No,
I'm sure they got
thank
drunk.
you. I'm sure they did, but so we did that, and then we had we went to the Braves game. The Braves against Detroit. The Braves won. So it was.
But the whole Porsche experience, that's some bullshit.
And let me tell you guys, I completely, as soon as I stepped foot, have you all ever stepped foot in a building and be like, I am way over my fucking tax bracket. Like, it smells rich. Like, even the scent is not like your typical fucking Febreze. It's like the scent of the building. You're like, bitch, I don't even know what this is, but this is whole different tax bracket. Rich.
Damn.
Smell. Nothing in their fucking, like, even their store, like their gift shop was under $200. I was like, do my kids really need $200 anything? Absolutely not. No, they don't.
You're like, I just need to buy a pencil.
I'm like, can I get a bag? A free bag? Anything?
That's crazy.
It was insane. Absolutely beautiful.
Do you know what kind of Porsche? I didn't even ask you this. What kind of Porsche did you get to test drive?
I don't know, because I'm not a huge car person, but I'll show you the pictures later on, and we can, I took pictures, but yeah, definitely one of the best experiences. They also have like different displays of the different types of Porsche that they've built. So they had, I mean, cars there, guys, that were like millions of dollars, like $1.8 million was the cheapest one.
1.8 was the least expensive
that they had in that array of cars. Yeah,
that's rich.
I know. What do you think? I'm like, sir, I can't even afford the fucking oil change, let alone the car. I don't think I can afford to be standing next to it right now.
You're like, that's definitely out of my
tax bracket for sure. I was like, I don't even think I'm insured high enough to be able to stand next to this bitch. But yes, I had a wonderful time. It was awesome. But of course, when you are out and traveling and doing all these things, it's great. But I had to squeeze 5 days worth of meetings into 2 days. So my Thursday and my Friday were back to back to back to back. Because, I have to do that. So it was a great experience, but I definitely peed for it when I came back home.
It always happens that way.
Always.
Yeah, that's how I was. Thursday, Friday were completely busy for me. This week's been pretty mellow.
Good. Yeah.
But I know, guys, that we complain about our jobs, which, quite honestly, it's just working, right? I don't want to work in general. My job right now is a complete breeze. I 100% love my team, which was reaffirmed in this Utah trip. I have a fucking phenomenal team. And what I was telling Marissa on Saturday when I saw her was, I think the reason my team is so like good together and so like cohesive and like so willing to help each other out is that within the pod of marketing that I'm in, there's micro pods, right? So like, well, there's 10 of us on that team. All of us are on individual, like 2 of us work on these projects, 2 of us work on another project or segment of the company, right? So like it's not Game of Thrones. People aren't trying to fight each other for like to be top dog or to be the top person.
Because you guys are not competing against each other.
Exactly, where that was not the case at corporate.
Right.
So that being said, we're just glad to be back.
Yes, we're glad to be back with our shenanigans.
Yes. So let's play a song and we'll come back and we'll jump into the crazy stories.
All right, let's do it.
All right, guys, we're back. I think I stopped that a little too soon, but that's okay.
That's okay.
It was good to hear some Spanish music on the show again.
I know.
We gotten away from it. We would always make sure to include one Spanish song
in the set. Yeah.
Yeah, and we hadn't done it in a while, so it was nice to put it back. So I see Jen in the show, and I see Real Estate Poppy in the chat, I should say. They are going to go on after us. Yep. So everybody make sure you tap in, because I think Jen is going to talk about our date on Saturday that we had with her, Marissa. So if you guys didn't tune in to, I did a music show on Sunday. I call it Erika's Playlist. I talked about our Saturday night out. It was Jen, Marissa, and myself, and we went to this experience called Bingo Loco, which was fucking out of control.
It's fucking wild.
People were wilding out. People were getting drunk at Bingo Loco. People were getting escorted out of Bingo Loco. You're getting
kicked out of Bingo, dude. Like that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I had talked about it on Sunday. So I know that Jen, I think she said she's going to talk about it on Poppy's show.
Oh,
next,
okay.
Because she's going to be co-hosting with him.
Yeah.
So I'm dying to hear her take on it.
Okay.
Because you and I mean, after it took so fucking long, guys. This thing, doors open at 6:30 and it ended after 10.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot. So like, and then afterwards, like Marissa had to get home to her kids. We didn't have an opportunity to hang with Jen a little longer after the event. Mm-hmm. So, but Marissa and I on the way home got to totally dissect this event. Yeah. And talk so much shit about it that I have not spoken to Jen about it, so I'm dying to hear what she's gonna say.
Yes.
So yes, guys. So tune in to Real Estate Poppy Show 3 the hard way after our show to hear Jen's take on Bingo Loco.
Yes.
I want to talk about it, but at the same time, I don't want it to like
take away from
what she's gonna say.
I think we can talk about it on Thursday.
Yes.
That way, we've had a chance to listen to her
take on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do that. One thing though, before I start the crazy stories of the day, okay, guys. So airport life sucks.
Sucks ass, man.
I totally remembered that traveling for work this week, right? Mm-hmm. I used to have a job where I would have to travel every other week. Mm-hmm. So airport life just became ingrained in me, right?
Yeah.
So but I think things have gotten collectively worse with airlines over the past couple of years. So people are like missing flights, everything's being delayed. American Airlines being like the number one airline right? That is really fucking people over. So I saw this guy's TikTok, and I had never thought of it that way, and I don't know why I didn't think of it like that. But it was so like, I felt so bad for him. He was talking about how, his partner only gets one fucking week off a year, right? 1 week.
Oh.
Because of like time off PTO. Yeah. So they look forward to that 1 week. They look forward to going out of town and going on their vacation and having this, amazing time.
Yeah.
So he said that they got to the airport. They didn't get any notifications of it being, like, the flight being delayed. Mm-hmm. An hour before the flight was supposed to arrive, they get a notification that the flight was going to be delayed an hour.
Oh,
then it got pushed back another hour.
Yeah.
Then it got pushed back another hour. Then it got pushed back to the point that they were just like, oh, you guys, we're going to have to cancel. And we'll see if we can fit you in flights tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Right? So then, of course, they're like, come to the customer service. We're going to try to accommodate everybody with a hotel room and some meal vouchers. So, of course, everybody bum rushes the customer service, which is like super far. There's only one person, of course.
Of course, so we only have one person, yeah.
And then they help a certain amount of people with these vouchers, and then they flip the story, and then they decide to say that, nope, the flight wasn't delayed because of the crew. The flight was delayed because of natural disaster, or like natural causes. So that way they didn't have to give out any more vouchers or stay. So he and his partner were one of the people that were not able to get any of those vouchers, right? So they stay at the airport overnight, and then again, the next morning trying to they have been put on a flight, but then that one keeps getting delayed.
Oh my God.
Then they're on standby for another one. And he's like, the frustrating part is that we plan our whole trip, like that we only get once a year.
Right. It's not like we can do this, 3 months from now, or we could reschedule everything and do it sometime, 3 to 6 months from now. They have to wait an entire year for his partner to have PTO to be able to take this.
Exactly. It was just such a heartbreaking tale. He's like, our package is from, you know what I mean? Like, we bought this vacation package. Now we've missed out on a day and a half.
Oh.
And then, so it was just, I didn't follow up to see, like, when they got on the flight, if they got on the flight. But then, now they've missed out on all these days of this, like, this vacation that they've also saved up all this money to be able to take. Not only the time, but the money.
Right.
And these fucking airports don't care. These airlines, I should say.
Yeah.
Not the airports. The airlines don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, I don't know. I just thought about it because I was at the airport, and then like it's vacation time, everybody's traveling or whatever. So, and you guys, I hope if you're out traveling that this doesn't happen to you. I was just so fucking pissed.
Just be careful. Make sure you get the protection so that you guys can be able to change the flights and do all of that. Because
even getting the protection on the air, if the airline is garbage, what good is that protection?
No, I'm talking about like your like if you're booking like hotels and things like that, you can get refunds and things like that. I know it doesn't, because I would always be the person to say, why would I need this? Doesn't make sense. They're just trying to take me, like, it's just a couple dollars more, but it's an additional expense that I wouldn't budget for. Now I budget it whenever I do plan vacations and things like that, because airlines are so unpredictable. Everything's unpredictable, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And you just want to make sure that you are able to reschedule that if you can, or get your money back for whatever reason. So,
but it was just like I need to find the TikTok and like play it for you guys, because it's just like the tale is so heartbreaking, and it's like fucking corporate America again. Also blaming corporate America for like only allowing one like limited time off.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I don't know. It was just heartbreaking tale. Okay, I don't know why I brought that up. But let's get back into the crazy stories.
All right, let's do it.
Totally took us off the fucking train rails.
Yeah.
I direct us to another point. All right, let's go with the story. It starts with, I've been at my current company for 10 years. In 2021, I had my first baby. Every department I worked in has been very supportive and flexible, not just of me, but of anyone who needs to adjust their schedule for caregiving duties, doctor's appointments, and even social events. We're hybrid, so we're expected to go into the office once a month we were expected to go into the office once a month up until now, right? So last month, the acting CEO announced that he wants us in office 4 days a week for literally no other reason than he doesn't understand remote work, but that's another situation entirely. Okay. Anyway, I'm on a new team now with a leader who's not supportive of mothers. I say this because when she and I were talking about going back, I said I needed to adjust my child care schedule, which turned into a conversation about who watches my child while I'm working.
Whoa.
I told her my husband watches him because we work opposite schedules. She said that was unacceptable because she didn't feel like I could fully commit to being an employee while also being a mother.
Ma'am,
she said even though my husband is watching my child, I was still a mom and would not be able to focus on work, and that dads are different. They can work and not focus on their children.
Bitch, did I ask you for your opinion?
I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am. Is it fucking 1950?
I didn't know it was fucking 1948 up in this bitch.
I was stunned. I was caught off guard, so I just mumbled something about being on the wait list for the on-property daycare and kind of changed the subject. She then went on some weird rant about how she hates when moms take their kids to the grocery store and how they should be placed in daycare for that as well. I guess she doesn't realize daycare isn't cheap, and she doesn't pay me enough to drop my kid off anytime I need to go out in public. I mean, lady, fucking get a grip and step into the modern world. Well, daycare is so fucking expensive.
It's a whole fucking mortgage. It's a whole fucking mortgage. And first of all, who the fuck goes asking who takes care of your kids? I've never been asked that, and God forbid I've ever, that somebody ever asked me that, because I'd be like, are you fucking footing the bill? Because if not, I don't see how this is any of your fucking business.
I mean, not that HR is going to, but that has to be some sort of violation, no?
It's not, unfortunately.
It's not. Oh, wow. Okay, so then the story continues. There is a dad on the team who frequently shows his daughter off during Zoom meetings. So I don't think this is a conversation they've had. Am I right to feel incredibly offended and targeted? Am I the only mother on the team? Oh, I'm the only mother on the team, so it feels like my opportunities under this manager are always going to be limited from now on because she has a strange idea of working mothers in her head. I would go to employee relations, but she has been with the company for years, so I'm not sure if they'd even help. this conversation also happened over Zoom, so there's no record of it.
What do you mean there's no record of it? Of course there's record of it.
No, you don't record all your Zooms.
But you can pull it from Zoom. FYI, everyone.
You can? Shut up!
Yes.
How?
If it's a company-provided Zoom, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So if it's a company-provided Zoom, link, you have an agreement with them, and if need be, they can pull it.
Oh, I didn't know they recorded those.
Yeah.
So...
No, not that they record them, but they have the ability to pull conversations when you have a service agreement, because that's part of the service agreements. And I know this, guys, because I used to do it. I did the service agreement for corporate, and I've done it for other companies.
Oh,
so it's part of the agreement.
Shut up.
So whenever they do give you a company-provided Zoom account, don't go using it for your personal use, because you can monitor usage. You can pull calls if needed.
Oh, shit. Look
Yeah.
at us learning something new. I didn't know that. I honestly didn't. I was just like, well, if it didn't record, it didn't record. But what the fuck with this lady? It's not 1950.
What's wrong with her? Like, first of all, where do you get off making assumptions? Like, I'm sorry. Since when can dads not take care of their children correctly?
I don't know, lady, but get the fuck out of here. I'm so irritated with that. So, but we do have a follow-up.
Okay.
For the story. So let's jump into a song. Because I took up a lot of time talking about this fucking flight TikTok.
Yeah.
I totally derailed the show. So let's jump into a song and then we'll be right back.
All right, let's do it.
All right, guys, we are back.
Yes.
Marissa, do you want to go over the chat? Or should we go into the update and then the chat?
I think I can go into the chat. So I think immediately after you mentioned that they about the comment that this lady's boss made of like who watches the kids and all of that, everybody was like, she can fuck right off.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely not. Bunk says she missed her moment. Record the conversation, win the lawsuit, be at home forever.
Oh. This economy, I don't know about forever.
I don't know. Maybe a solid year after taxes.
Right? Fuck, man.
Dr. Perch said bitch and then put a period. So
I like it.
Bitch, period.
I
like it. Daydreamer said this woman must be single and or no kids. Sal says moms do be working though. I know, Sal. Prime example right here. Like, what the fuck?
I don't have any kids, but like, I understand having to take care of where is this lady coming from?
Well, it's that stupidity and it's that old school mentality that you have to give everything to your job, and that's very, very boomer.
That is very boomer.
Very boomer. Very. Oh my God, you have to give it all to your job, and that whole nobody wants to work. It's that type of mentality. Mm-hmm. First of all, I'm not going to give you more than what you fucking pay me for. Like, it is what it is. Because I've been there. I've given it all before, and guess what's gotten me in those situations? Nothing.
More work.
So, no thanks. But yeah, no, people were actually surprised at the fact that I was letting them know that in these like Zooms, Google Meets, Teams, Hangouts, all of these, that whenever a company provides you those, that they can actually go back and pull it. It is a certain amount of time frame though, so it's not like if you talk shit 4 years ago, they're going to be able to go back and pull it. But yes, that is possible. And I think that's it.
All right. Yeah, guys, I mean, we worked with a lot of dummies that would put everything even via like Slack or Teams.
Oh my God, those are the worst, guys. Those get audited like religiously. So don't put anything on Slack, Teams.
None of the IM systems that your company is
providing you with. Absolutely not.
No. So you text your work bestie via your phone.
Absolutely, and talk trash, all the trash you want there. I know I do.
Marissa and I hell of a talk shit, even during meetings that we were in together. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go into the updates.
All right.
I first ended up talking with my coworker who's a father to see if there was any difference between our experiences.
Okay.
I disguised it as me asking if he knew of any good childcare facilities. He said he didn't have any recommendations as his wife is a stay-at-home mom, so his child being in the house with his wife is okay, but my husband is in proper childcare. Now I was mad.
Okay.
Okay. Right, because like the dad.
But yeah, it's a okay.
I mean, her husband's at home taking care of the kid.
Yeah.
And what is like what's the difference between her husband and his wife is what she's saying.
Right.
Okay. My manager and I had another one-to-one. Our company requires these monthly. She asked me about my childcare situation and I replied that I wasn't comfortable sharing this with her. So the bitch brought it up again.
Of course she did, because she's nosy as fuck.
She said she wanted to remind me that it's against company policy to have my child in the home if I'm working from home, and I need to provide a proof of childcare once we return to the office.
The fuck you want me to do? Take him to the fucking neighbor? What the fuck is her problem? See, this is where I would have punched her. At this exact moment,
you're throwing hands.
At this exact moment is when I would have fucking punched her in the face.
Punch the screen, because they were remote at this time. But
that is the one time I would have gone into the office. We having this one-on-one, face-to-face.
Right.
Ma'am.
Meet me in the corner of this garage.
Where the cameras aren't there.
All right. Oh shit. Oh, that she needs to provide proof. This isn't true and just an asinine lie to make up. My response to this was she needed to give me this direction in an email.
Absolutely.
Good for fucking her. Applaud. Because guys, we tell you this all the time.
Put it in writing.
Have them send you this directive in writing.
Absolutely.
Always in writing. And we learned the very, very hard way.
Yeah, we did.
And that's why we, like, our warnings are because
we've been there, guys. We've been there, done that, been down that path. And
we were dummies and didn't do a lot of this stuff when we worked for the facility.
Yes.
And it turned around. I mean, well, that manager did get fired eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
We didn't have enough proof.
Quote unquote proof for her
retaliation.
For her retaliation, because we didn't get it in paper. Yeah, in writing. So.
But also, fuck that company. We got fucking manhandled twice up in that bitch. And they still said we didn't have enough proof. We sexually harassed twice and reported it. They're like, nah, nobody saw it.
No, they literally looked at us and said, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Shh. No, you didn't.
Yeah, they literally told us to shh.
I'm so mad.
What the fuck? All right. I'm getting triggered again. Okay. Which of course she did an email as she knew what she was saying was false. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, you can imagine things were awkward and intense for a little bit. I ended up going to her director and explaining the situation and how I no longer felt comfortable under the manager. Mm-hmm. The director was horrified. Thankfully, I was moved to a new team. My old manager is still with the company, though I've heard some rumors of her making rude comments to one of her employees who has recently announced she's pregnant, so maybe that won't be the case for long. This fucking lady hates kids, man.
Like, what is her deal?
I don't know.
Is that what she was told when she had kids?
I don't know. I'm totally speculating because, of course, we don't know shit about this lady aside from what's been in the story. But what if she was one of those like women that totally gave up her
career?
Gave up her personal life for the career.
Oh.
Right? Always put her career first and gets upset when she sees
other people that
didn't.
Right.
And so she's like maybe taking it out on them because of that.
But that's like
totally speculation.
Yeah, but even if that's the case, though, that's on you. That's a decision you made. If you made a wrong decision, that's like therapy, girl. Like, sit in that big office of yours and go to therapy. I don't know. It just, and I can speak from a place because we've had plenty of boomer-like that type of mentality,
mm-hmm.
And women that were not for women in leadership.
Oh my God, guys, so many.
You know what I mean? So many.
And quite honestly, I was so disappointed on how female bosses are the fucking worst to have.
They are.
A lot of, like, I'm gonna say I've had two, well, now, I mean, this boss that I like, I really like her. My director's also, like, my team right now is fucking phenomenal. I love him. Yeah. But, like, my boss at corporate, not the one that fucking replaced my beloved boss, but beloved boss was also a millennial and got with it.
Right.
But I've only had two female bosses.
But if you
in recent times that have been, like, have not had that mentality of,
but they're, like, more
every man for himself.
But then if you think about it, they're younger than these older bosses that we've had. If you look at the demographic and the age of the women of the back,
well, no, because when I worked in Vegas, the one that really broke my heart was when I first got certified to be a sommelier. I was supposed to study under her.
Oh, okay.
And she was maybe a couple of years older than me or whatever, but she was so paranoid about being pushed out and me taking over her position.
Got it.
That she was very hostile and, like, very difficult to work with. That, like, even when she left, she acknowledged this and apologized to me. And I'm like, bitch, it's been a year of you being completely horrible.
Yeah. Well, at least I can say from my experience, the majority of women that are older that are put in those positions have been horrible, because I think, to your point, I mean, again, totally speculating here, either one, they had to pump the brakes on the career to raise the children, and then once the children were grown, they went back and picked up their career and, blah, 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 or they completely sacrificed their personal life for the career.
Yeah.
So they don't understand wanting that balance, right? They don't understand wanting to be good at both. I want the career, but I also want to do a good job at home, and I'm not going to sit here and work 60, 70 hours a week for free, when you pay me for 40.
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. But, I mean, who knows? But honestly, this lady can fuck all the way off.
I know. So it kind of concludes, oh, well, no, she's got lots left. Let's finish this up. I've learned a lot through this experience. I'd like to share it with my other working moms or future moms out there, because I genuinely wish someone had told me these things before. One, other moms may not be understanding. I saw a lot of speculation in the comments about if my manager had children. She does have adult children, and she was a single mom, which I believe is why I felt comfortable talking about my child care with her. I figured she would have been understanding. I was wrong. As you guys can tell, I did not read the complete story. I did not read. I was like, I skimmed it. I was like, I was busy today. Tuesdays are super busy for me. So I just kind of found the story, skimmed it. I did not read through the whole thing.
That's
so
okay.
It's brand new to all of us, guys.
We're working through this together.
Number 2, ask around before agreeing to a transfer. This one seems obvious, but I was naive and had never had an issue like this, so I failed to do this. After speaking with former employees of this manager, she apparently has a reputation for not being very empathetic to mothers. Had I known this, I wouldn't have agreed to the transfer, because that was a Band-Aid from the company.
Absolutely.
Instead of reprimanding the manager and actually doing something about her fucking attitude.
Dealing with the bad management.
They moved the good employee.
Absolutely.
Which always happens. Fucking corporate, man. Corporate America, I should say. The difference between how moms and dads are viewed in the workplace. I feel like this is a known fact, but it's hard to understand unless you experience it. My husband's experience with his boss has been completely different. From now on, I plan to keep the information I share about my child to an absolute minimum. Never again will I share my child care situation with a coworker or boss, because no matter what the answer is, people will make judgments. Again, this is just my experience, but there is a lot of data out there about how moms and dads are viewed in the workplace.
Yep.
If you're curious. And as being a person with no children, you also get viewed totally different.
Absolutely.
So that's why I like to tell people I am a single mother of 2 twins. Because I kind of am.
You kind of are, though.
Hey, my dogs are from the same litter. They are twins.
They are twins. That's a story, and we're sticking to it.
Yep.
No, I could tell you because I've been a single mom for practically the entire life of my children since they were very little, and it is very difficult. You do get viewed very differently. There's questions that you get asked that dads that have, that working dads don't get those questions. That's just the way, unfortunately, corporate America is.
Get it in writing. I knew this before, but this experience reinforced this. I'll never have another one-to-one with a manager without sending a follow-up email summarizing what was said afterwards.
Yep.
So I'm not going to fucking harp on that one, guys, because I am not doing that right now. I really love my boss.
Oh no, I don't mind my boss, but you better believe we have a document.
Oh yeah, no, I'd be a total hypocrite to tell you guys to do that because I don't fucking do that. Our fucking one-to-ones are completely off the rails. We talk about so many other things, and then we're like, oh yeah, work stuff, like blah 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 blah. But we're consistently
in communication
about work projects that I think our one-to-ones are just more like, hey, what's going on in your life type of
more personal than professional.
Which is wild. Okay, so now I apologize if these points seem obvious. Looking back on the experience, I'm kicking myself for not being more cautious about what I shared with my former manager. And yes, I'm looking for another job because this manager still being employed by the company has made me question everything. And comments advising that I should quit and stay home. This isn't realistic in this economy, at least not where I live. And where no one lives, ma'am.
No one.
This economy is so fucked up.
No. You can't just fucking up and quit your job. Do you know how many times I've wanted to up and quit my job? But I can't.
No.
You cannot. Not in this economy.
No. So let's go to a song and we'll come back to the comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. We are back.
Yes.
Marissa, anything interesting in the chats?
No, I think everybody agrees that Katie said at this point when you were telling her that when you were reading the story and you mentioned that she brought it up again during the one-on-one, she said, okay, at this point I just start lying to her about the childcare, which I mean I wouldn't. I do exactly what she did and be like, mind your business.
Put it in writing, bitch.
Absolutely. Katie agrees, saying cover your ass and keep receipts of everything. Dr. Perch says punching her sounds fun, right? Sounds like a good old time to me. Just saying.
Dr. Perch can be your fucking tag team partner.
Fuck yeah.
Both of you have been wanting to throw hands all fucking show.
Yes, let's do it. I'm in. He says power trip, one-upmanship. What we're discussing of like the possible reasons why. And he says doggy dog world. Yes and no. I mean, yes, you gotta fend for yourself, but at the same time, I've never been a fan of putting anybody else down to get myself up.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
You know what
I
mean? So,
no. I don't operate like that.
And me neither. And, I'm in charge of departments, right? And so I'm in charge of multiple people, and I can tell you that I've never, like, you need it off, you need to leave it, I don't give a fuck, just get your work done. Like, at the end of the day, that's all I care about. If you completed it in 6 and you left for 2, I don't care. Like,
just get your work done.
Just get your work done.
Agreed. All right, guys. So this is a quick story, and we're all going to agree on this issue. Wait, what time is it? Okay, yeah, I can go through it fast. And just because I have a funny story that I thought of when I read this story.
Okay.
And I actually read this entire story. Okay. My friends and I are planning a trip to my dad's holiday home in August. It'll be 7 of us total. It would be 8, but I've decided not to invite my friend Kara's boyfriend Alex because every time I see him, he makes it blatantly obvious he doesn't like me.
Okay.
Since I met him about a year ago, he's been awkward and standoffish with me in a way he isn't towards our other friends. I have really tried to make conversation with him, but everything I do seems to offend or annoy him. He avoids me like a plague in group settings, rolls his eyes at everything I say, and gives monosyllabic answers to anything I ask him. I've given up trying to be his friend, but he can't even be polite, and it's annoying. I get that not everyone is going to like you in life, but I don't think anyone needs to be rude.
Okay.
I asked Kara what I did to upset him, but she denies there's a problem. She just says he's an awkward person and probably doesn't feel comfortable around me. Anyway, I just can't be bothered to spend 10 days hosting someone who can't even manage to say hello to me. So I told Kara that the invite didn't extend to Alex. She's pissed. She said he'd really be hurt by that and that it's disrespectful to her relationship. I said Alex is disrespectful to me and I don't have to put up with it in my family's house. She said she put it to the group and 2 people sided with her, but I said we can all pick a neutral location to stay if they want Alex to come so badly. And that shut everyone up because the cost of staying in that area in the summer is astronomical. Kara's calling me a tyrant, and I guess I kind of am, but I think I'm justified. No, Alex is not outright cruel to me, but he's hostile, so why do I have to put up with him? I know Kara's complaining to our other friends about the issue, and she doesn't want to go now that Alex is excluded. I don't want this kind of drama, but after I've been the only one acknowledging the problem, I think I have to stand my ground here. Should I just let him come?
No.
No, fuck no.
Fuck her, fuck him, and Kara. Fuck both of you bitches. Y'all can stay home while we live our best summer lives.
Right? The 2 people siding with her as well.
Fuck y'all too. Y'all can fucking Airbnb it together, bitches.
You want to head back with Kara and Alex? Hang back. No, fuck no.
No.
And if it's uncomfortable, why would you want somebody around like that for 10 days?
Well, and then also, if I'm your friend and I tell you, hey, I think there's something wrong with your sick, and you brush it off, and then I host something, I'm like, hey, we're gonna host something here, but I'm gonna exclude this person. The audacity of you to get pissed off when I've brought this to your attention.
Right?
And you've like, oh no, he's just an awkward person. No, he's an asshole. He's Absolutely. An asshole. And he doesn't know how to coexist with people. He's not saying, hey, let's be fucking best friends and hang out every fucking day.
Right?
He's saying, if we're in the same room and I say fucking hello to you, acknowledge me and say hello back.
Right?
If you can't even do that, then that's a problem.
I know. I think that's wild. So this story reminded me of back when I lived in Vegas. I had, as a sommelier, I had some amazing perks, right?
Yeah.
Right by Napa and Sonoma, and like Washington, like going to like wineries.
Yeah.
I always got hooked up.
Yeah.
Always, right? Just because the massive amounts of like inventory I can take.
Right.
Because of the resort that I worked at, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would get trips to Napa and Sonoma often, right? So one time I was going down there and I invited some friends. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be staying at this so-and-so place. It's, off the golf course. It's, beautiful location. Yeah. You guys want to come with? Like, we'll make it a girls' trip, right? So there was like gonna be 4 of us.
Yeah.
And one of them, whose boyfriend was so fucking weird, like, he would give her like a fucking curfew and shit like that.
Ew.
Exactly.
Gross.
Was like, well, he would like to join. And I said, well, he cannot join because this is a girls' trip.
Bitch, did you not read the title? Girls' trip?
Yeah, it's a girls' trip.
Yeah.
Even though this, like, location this place what we're staying at is very nice and they're accommodating 2-room. It was like a suite, right? But I'm like, it's only a 2-bedroom suite. 3 of us are not gonna bunk in one,
so that you guys can get a whole fucking room together.
And this dude who fucking does not like us gets to come and like join the party. Like, no. So I was very like, all 3, and luckily the 2 other girls were like, no. We're all, it's a girls' trip. That's what it is. So guess what happened? This fucking guy went on a solo trip to Napa, and we would finish up at one winery, and then he'd be getting there. We'd be finishing up at one winery, he'd be getting there. So I think she was giving him the agenda the whole time.
I think so too, because how the fuck would he know?
And then at dinner was like, showed up at dinner one of the nights, and I was like, okay. I mean, and that wasn't we were paying for that dinner, right? Okay. Like, that wasn't being hosted by anybody, but we were just like out for dinner, and he like pops in and hangs out for a while, and we're just like, I was like, what the fuck? This is so weird.
But also, you said no.
No. Well, but he was there on his own trip, is what.
I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Now y'all can have your own trip.
Isn't that wild? That was so weird.
You're a better person than I am, because I would have been like, y'all can have a trip.
I did lose my shit a little on that trip because I had one of the girls and I had known each other for a very, very long time. We had been friends, and we had a mutual friend who lived in Napa. He was working for a restaurant there, whatever. But we're gonna meet for dinner, but the boyfriend found out and was like, I thought this was a girls' trip. We're like, dude, this guy is so gay. And even if he wasn't, who gives a fuck? He's not hanging out with us.
I would have been like, I thought this was a solo trip, motherfucker. Why are you hanging out with people? Why are you popping up?
Isn't that wild? I still think about that. Like, that's one of my Roman empires. I just think about that, like, how insecure and how crazy is that? Like,
who's got the energy for that? My God.
And, like, I mean, like, the dependency, like, on each, I don't know, like, why are you giving him our itinerary? Why is he going on a quote-unquote solo trip and going to, like, coincidentally, all the wineries that we're at when there's hundreds of wineries?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. That's wild, huh?
That is insane. That honestly, like,
Marissa's face.
I would have been like, you and your fucking boyfriend can fuck all the way off. Y'all can have this fucking trip together since y'all are too busy communicating with each other. He's on a solo trip.
Yeah,
bitch, now you're on a couple's trip.
Yeah.
Go.
There's
no need to fucking rain on everybody else's parade.
I was just totally flabbergasted at that. I thought that was so crazy. So anyhow, Kara and her little boyfriend Alex need to go have their own couples trip. The other two people
can join them
if they want, but they're gonna ditch Kara as soon as this girl is like, Kara and Alex go by themselves. They're gonna be like, bye, Kara, because
they're like, love you, but send you pictures.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So let's go into should we go into a song and then come back and say goodbye, or should we
I think we say goodbye and then jump into the last song.
Oh, perfect. All right, guys. So we are done. It was good being back.
Yes. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us.
Yes. Jump into Real Estate Poppy.
Yes, happening right now.
He's on right now with Jen and his wife Doreen. I hope they have not discussed Bingo Loco yet.
No.
Because I'm dying to hear Jen's take on it.
Yes.
I'm having dinner with her tomorrow, but we still haven't talked. Like, I don't know, because we separated on Saturday.
Yeah. Because it was kind of like, yeah.
So I still don't know what her
take
thoughts
was,
on it was. Because it was just so fucking crazy, guys.
It
so
was.
jump in. We're going to jump in right now, hear her perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But we will be back Thursday for another edition of I Hate It Here, Workplace Horror Stories. I'll be back on Sunday with Adam on Adam's show, or channel, whatever his handle, doing Amo to Emo.
Yes.
So back at it, Marissa.
Back at it. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. We appreciate your time. We'll leave you with this last song, and then we'll jump over to Real Estate Pops.
Yes, and oh my God, I don't know if they're still here in the show, but Fluggy and Nikki, I think this song's for you guys. I think you guys will totally love it. It's a banger.
All right.